What takes place is the animals stop selective grazing so much and they start just eating what's in front of them. It's called competitive grazing. When they get bunched up like this in smaller areas, they start just competitive grazing. They start eating the good and the bad, the fiber and the protein. Hey, good morning everyone. This is Preston with Better Pastures Farm. So this morning what we got going on is we moved these cows to day moves this whole week. We got some extra time, so with our flexible schedule, we want to move them to day moves. That's not our typical moving program, but you know, that's what's cool about grazing. That's what's cool about adaptive grazing, is you're flexible. You do what you can do with the time that you have available. All right, without further ado, let's jump into it. So today I just want to talk about what we got going on, how we're strip grazing these guys on day moves. So we got a road here that wraps up around the property. And then this is our lane that we have that they're grazing right now. And we turned them into this yesterday. So the water hole is down the river. Down there. And we'll walk down there and I'll kind of show you how I laid that out. But so what we got going up here is you always want to set up a section or two in front of your cows. So if you come over and you felt like you made a mistake, you didn't give them enough grass, you can immediately just turn them into the next paddock without it being a big ordeal. So right now we got this paddock ready to go, and then we got one more. You can see over there. Yeah, you can see that far yellow peg. That's our that's our second paddock we're going into. So we're gonna walk down to this water hole and show you how we got them drinking out of this river. And then maybe as we're walking down, I'll try not to be too shaky, and we can observe a little bit of what's taking place in this area that they have right here. Come on, girls. So this section isn't super big. We're about, I don't know, 15 yards wide here. Not super wide. But look at that. We got, you know, we got manure every few feet. We got a patty plus the urine. We have a lot of these taller forages trampled. And I'll slow down just a second so we can pick it up. And if you zoom over to this side, you know, you can kind of see the difference. All the forages still standing up. Looks bright. What we're trying to do is we're trying to just get heavier, more animal impact per acre, trample some forage, and moving to day moves is going to up our animal performance dramatically. Come on, girls, come on. When you start moving your animals daily, or even, I guess it applies even if it was every other day or every 3 days, but what takes place is the animals stop selective grazing so much and they start just eating what's in front of them. It's called competitive grazing. When they get bunched up like this in smaller areas, they start just competitive grazing. They start eating the good and the bad, the fiber and the protein. Versus before, they just select for the protein. And what happens when they completely just select for the protein is two things. If they're in a paddock very long, they'll eat all the protein out, and then their rumen is left to digest straight protein, and then after they select all the protein out, then they gotta go back and eat just all the fibrous plants. And their rumen isn't as balanced as it could be. So when you start bunching them up and moving them daily, what you get is you get better animal performance, because now they're getting a little bit of fiber and protein at the same time, and they get a little more of a consistent diet. On top of the benefits of all the land, the landscaping you're doing as well along the way. Come on, girls, let's go. Come on. Come on. So what we're typically looking for, as you can see, we still got quite a bit of these plants that still have, that are still pretty tall still. We're not trying to graze at all. What we want to do is we want to take a bite off each plant and then move. And then hopefully in the process we're chomping like a lot of this you can see that's Lesbodeza plant's been broken off. We got a few bare spots that they took down a little more. But that's the goal, is to take a bite off each plant and then trample the rest, move forward. Or a lot of adaptive grazers will say take 50, trample 50. Alright, so here's the water hole we have down here. So pretty much we're just getting water out of this creek. So as you can tell, my paddock sizes, come on girls, my paddock sizes start narrowing down a lot as we get to this creek, because I want the ability as we graze across this whole field, I'm going to keep narrowing it down and funnel them down to this water hole. We got another water hole on the other side of those trees over there, but I want to be able to back graze all this before we get into that. So you got this little lane right here. This paddock right here is not going to stay like that. What we're going to do is, I'll show you, when we let the cows into this next section right here, I'm going to move this fence over just a little bit. Only right here will I move it over, just to give them more room where this water is, so they're not bunching up too much. And then it'll leave this whole paddock behind me open for rest. So we'll check out this water hole here. So since we've been so dry this year, water's been a pretty tough situation. This creek pretty much has dried up in a lot of areas. So it's kind of, usually looks a little prettier than this, but we're pretty mucky to where nothing's running anymore. So what we got going here is I just run a poly wire up there, down on this tree, across this river onto that root there, pounded a T-post there, and then back up to that tree, back up around. So this actually works really good. The reason I don't do any permanent infrastructure here is just because this river floods so hard that it takes it out. Every time I do something very permanent, it'll flood and rip it out. This river floods really bad every year. Usually in the spring, we'll get flooding so bad that we'll have water way up on this bank. Along this whole little area there, this will all be covered in water. So it's kind of a tricky situation there that you got to work through. All right, girls, let's go. You ready? I gotta move these girls and film. Come on. Come on, let's go. Yeah, they're pretty excited to be moved when they feel like they've been pushed. Keep reeling this up just a little bit. Come on, girls. Come on. So pull this reel back over this corner. Alrighty folks, there they go. Up the lane to do some more trampling and to get, Ian Mitchell Ennis says, when cows move across the landscape, they impulse kinetic energy into the ground. And it gets all the plants fired up. As you can see, we're a little narrow here, but I'm going to open this up right here. These cows head down that lane. But just look at they're super excited. They're going to go all the way to the end. And then they're going to turn around and come back our way and start grazing. But, so we're going to open this up for them. So right here, this is what I'm going to open up. So you can pretty much pie graze, pretty much just pie grazing it to where we funnel it in at the bottom. But right here, the last little bit of the bottom area, we just open up. But they got a little more room. Right where this reel is, we're going to open up right here. Alrighty guys, well, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll not keep you any longer, but this is what's happening this morning, and the rest of the week we're going to be day moving these girls. And thank you guys so much for watching, and if you like the content, hit that subscribe button and we will see you in the next video.